I doubt you could even imagine it. That which commanded the stars, giving life its fullest brilliance.
Today I'll try to unravel some of the mysteries behind Elden Ring's lore. Some of it is speculative and there will be lots of spoilers. Do with that what you will. Before the Shattering, which is a war which broke out after the Elden Ring was shattered and the pieces were claimed by Marika's children, the lands between basked in the pure light of the Greater Will. Slivers of its blessing remain, in hidden pockets where lost graces wait to be found. Grace is the light of the Greater Will. This lost grace is guiding us, and it is guiding us to the Round Table Hold. We know this because in-game it is literally guiding us to the Stormveil Castle, and we are told by this wonderful individual over here that if we by chance find our way into the castle, we may receive the summons to the famed Round Table Hold. In the Round Table Hold, we find what looks like a giant site of grace. We know that grace is the light of the Greater Will, so I believe this to be the Greater Will, or whatever is left of it. Surrounding it we can see 4 statues with what looks like earth tree saplings in their hands. We can't see what's behind the camera, but it is very likely that the rest of the room is identical in shape, and that there are 8 statues with 8 saplings, all of them surrounding the Greater Will. In the gameplay trailer, behind Godric's back, we can see a structure of a similar shape. In Stormveil Castle, there's this painting depicting a giant tree and 8 figures on it. In this symbol, which is quite similar to Elden Ring's logo, we see 8 rings overlapping each other, a greater semicircle above them all, and massive roots behind them. I think, and this is the most speculation I will do in this video, but I promise it will make sense soon, is that Greater Will once inhabited the Earth Tree. But when the Elden Ring was shattered and its shards were claimed by Marika's children, it became the spectral-looking tree we now know it as. We'll come back to this a little bit later on.
Greetings, traveller from beyond the fog. I am Melina.
The first time we meet Melina, she offers us her help. To play the role of the maiden and to turn rune fragments into strength, asking only one thing in return, to bring her to the foot of the Earth Tree.
I can play the role of maiden, turning rune fragments into strength, to aid you in your search for the Elden Ring. You need only take me with you to the foot of the Erd Tree.
She gives us Torrent, telling us to treat him with respect, because he chose us.
I bequeath to you this ring. Use it to traverse great distances. It will summon a spectral steed named Torrent. Torrent has chosen you. Treat him with respect.
Sometime later, she tells us more.
Me? I'm searching for my purpose, given to me by my mother inside the Erd Tree, long ago, for the reason that I yet live, burned and bodiless.
This might be the most important line in helping us unravel the story. Torrent is a spectral steed and seems to appear out of nowhere, just like Melina does. She wants us to bring her to the Earth Tree, which itself is in some sort of spectral form, where once her mother gave her purpose for which she still lives, burned and bodiless. We know that before the Shattering, Greater Will blessed the lands between with its light, and we know that lost sites of grace are the remaining slivers of it. We know that greater will guides us, just like Melina does, who was given her purpose by her mother inside the Earth Tree long ago. Melina, who now is burned and bodiless.
Look up at the sky. It burns.
Look up at the sky. It burns. It isn't talking about a sky. It's talking about a tree. Melina is the greater will that once inhabited the Earth Tree. Share them with me, your thoughts, your ambitions, the principles you would follow. From the interview with Hidetaka Miyazaki, we know that Elden Ring forms the rules and rhythm of the world. We know that Elden Ring is the source of the Earth Tree, and we now know that Earth Tree was the source of greater will. Greater will, which was given purpose by her mother, inside the Earth Tree long ago. Will, ability to choose and make our own decisions, that is the blessing she bestowed upon us. That is the purpose Melina's mother gave her. If we had no will, our lives would be predetermined and we would be prisoners of fate. Thanks to the blessing of will, we can make our own choices and suffer their consequences. Because if our actions had no consequences, there would be no purpose to having will.
My purpose was long ago lost.
Causality is the law of cause and effect. That's what forms the rules and rhythm of the world. That is what gives purpose to will. Your actions have consequences which feed into further actions. It's a feedback loop. It's a circle one cannot escape. It's the oldest principle of the universe. That's what Elden Ring is. After Elden Ring was shattered and the shards were claimed by the 6 demigods, Greater Will has abandoned the lands between. It abandoned us because without the law of cause and effect, will serves no purpose. There is no right without wrong, no good without evil, no darkness without light. And the very first scene we've ever seen of Elden Ring is a flash of light in absolute darkness. Ye dead who yet live, your grace long lost, follow the path to the lands between beyond the foggy sea to stand before the Elden Ring. We are dead, but yet we live, because rules and rhythm of the world no longer apply. By shattering the Elden Ring, the natural state of the world, the natural order of the world where its laws were obeyed, was broken. The Golden Order has been broken. I hope you have enjoyed my little theory. There's more to it than that, but it's not as solidly thought out. Like, what broke the Elden Ring? Ambition of humanity is a big theme in the game. We know that Elden Ring was shattered by someone or something. I believe it's both. It was shattered by someone who was led to it by their great ambition. When leveling up, Melina asks us about our thoughts, ambitions, and principles. She asks us how would we lead. This makes me think that Elden Ring was shattered by the previous Elden Lord, and that is why Melina is curious about us. She's wary because someone had access to it and decided to break it. Godric was born a weakling, and he coveted the strength of his kin. With the shard of the Elden Ring he managed to do just that. He became a king. However, I believe that by twisting the rules of the world, he ended up the corrupted creature he is now. How would your own ambition grow if you had power over laws of the universe? To be so arrogant as to think that rules and rhythm of the world do not apply to you. By changing these rules, Godric changed the outcome of not only his own life, but that of many others. Those he conquered, those he slain, those he lorded over. Their choices and consequences were taken away from them by Godric changing his. I believe this will be a theme further explored with other demigods, each with their own shortcomings and desires. This is also one of the reasons why we are tarnished. We had a will of our own, and it was taken from us. We're coming back to reclaim it, and it will be our choice what we'll do with it, for better or worse. Thank you for watching. I hope this gave you something to think about, even if all of it turns out to be false. If you have any thoughts on any of this, or any evidence supportive or contradictory about the statements I made in this video, let me know. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.